Hi everyone, I'm Cerise.
I'm Joe.
And today we're talking about the tendency that a lot of us have to focus only on the potential of someone or something. And that basically means where you're not looking at the reality of the situation, you're looking at what it could be one day, maybe, hopefully.
Or you're looking at the few small instances where things were good for like 2% of the time, but for some reason you're only looking at that 2%.
And the 98 other percent is like not so nice. So I'm going to give an example from my personal life to help illustrate the point. More than a few years ago, I was in a relationship that basically was not a nice relationship. I was not happy within myself, within the relationship. I didn't like how my partner treated me, but I kept focusing on the good moments that we had, even though they were far less than the bad moments. And for a long time, I was like telling myself, it's going to get better. When it's good, it's really good. And he's going to change. We're getting there. It's getting better. And eventually, after I had reached a point of, you know what, I've actually had enough of this. I ended the relationship, and after that, I felt free. So that's my example. How about you share an example too?
One other dimension to have a look at here when you find yourself only looking at the potential and what you could be is to also bring it to yourself. For me, I actually had that point with my own relationship with myself where I would go, but okay, I'm not doing very good right now. My life is not sorted out. I'm not in a good place within myself or with the people in my life. But I can change. I can totally be something else. This is so not me, guys. This is so not me. Like, totally just chill out. Because watch. I'm going to change. You're going to be like, gee, you remember when you were totally like that? That was so funny how you used to be like that. You're going to be like that once I change. You just watch. And what happens is I spend so much time talking about how different I'm going to be, how much more I will become, how much I will eventually change. And talking, and not actually doing what? Changing. And this would go on for a very long time, where I would psych myself up. And it was interesting because when I was in those moments in my life where I knew things were not good, that I had to change, that I had to take more responsibility, that I had to step up and man up and face what I had to face, I would be in this point of inferiority towards it. So anytime something good would come up, I would latch onto it. It's like, oh, but there's something good at the end. And look how amazing it's all going to be once this is done. I mean, things are shit now, but look how great it could possibly be sometime in the future if I potentially maybe think about remembering trying to start. So this keeps going on without actual change. So you get into this loop of, you know you need to change. You know it's as simple as you making the decision and doing it. But because you keep going into these loops and trying to feel good first about where you are right now, you find yourself becoming addicted to that energy, to that feeling good about what's coming, feeling good, and going into hope. And it's not cool.
Yeah, unfortunately, hope has a very particular design, and it's kind of like a spider web, and you're like the little insect, and then you get stuck in it. You get like caught in it, and the more you struggle and reach for the hope, the more you just get tangled up in it.
And eventually the spider of reality comes, descends upon you, wraps you in its entangling web, and injects venom into you, and liquefies your insides and drinks it in liquid form.
Yeah. So, how do we change this? How do we bring ourselves out of the trap of hope, the trap of this illusionary, bright, potential future that we're not actually making an effort to create? Well, we're not saying that you shouldn't look towards the future and you shouldn't look at how things could be.
And we're not saying that you have to disregard the potential that you do see.
But you have to be realistic in what is here. What is it practically going to take to create that future? What do you need to do? What do you need to actually physically live and change in yourself and in your life? If you're in a relationship, you need to look at, okay, what are the parts of the relationship that we don't want to be experiencing? What are the parts of the relationships that we want to change? And you and your partner are the only two who can change those things. And if you're at a point of you've been trying to change and one or both of you are not managing it, then you need to consider, if you have run out of different ways of trying to change, if you've done everything you can think of, gotten all the help you can get, and things are still bad, then consider that maybe this relationship is simply out of the realm of what you're capable of transcending and developing effectively at that point in your life. And sometimes that's what happens. That's the point that we have to face, that right now I cannot do this thing. I don't have what I need to walk this point.
And you have to also really consider whether or not continuing in this relationship when you know that it's become diminishing and in some cases toxic and abusive and harmful for yourself or for the other, whether it's actually in the best interest of yourself or the other to continue. And sometimes we get into that other trap, which is that, well, maybe I can't find another one. Maybe this is the one that I have to protect and fight for no matter what, because I might not get another chance. That's a tough one, but you really have to be able to let that go, because you need to be able to value yourself and honor yourself.
And your partner enough to set each other free if the relationship is in that kind of a bad space.
And you have to be able to realize that to create the kind of relationship you want, the first person you need to meet and get to know is yourself. Mm-hmm. You've got to get right with yourself. You've got to be able to sit with yourself, take yourself out, have a dinner, and really open yourself up and talk about what you like and what you don't like and what you're looking for, what kind of future you want to create together. And at the end of that dinner, you want to be able to say, you know what, I met myself and I think it's going to work out. I think I'm going to be with me. I think I'm the one. I think I'm the one.
I have a question though for you, Joe. Did you actually do that?
Maybe. I had a great time.
Oh, okay.
I was a perfect gentleman. I held the door open for me. I paid for everything. It was amazing.
All right, so that's the relationship dimension. And when it comes to your relationship with yourself and the things that you want to change in your life and create in your life, then it's up to you and only you to actually change those things.
And it's up to you to really live the potential that you see instead of just talking about it. Make it real. You deserve it. And only you can give it to yourself.
If you're not sure how to go about changing yourself and creating yourself, well, that's actually an entirely different topic that needs its own video or even a series of videos. Though we did discuss it on a Destiny radio show, in the concept of what is self and what is self-change. So check that out. It's the Cerise and Joe shows episodes
on Destiny Radio. You can find the link.
Which ones, yeah, we'll put the link in the description.
Just click all the links that we give you.
All of the links that are there.
We're not going to give you bad stuff. It's all good. It's all the best stuff. We'll wait. Just open up in another tab. If you're on Windows, you can hold down the control key and click the link and it'll pop up a different tab for you.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Thanks, Stuart. Alright, so if you like our videos and if you don't like our videos, please remember to like, share and subscribe.
Especially if you don't like our videos.
Especially then.
Yeah,
because,
that's when you really need to share.
Yeah, where you resist, you must persist.
Yes.
So you got to just push through that resistance and just put our faces all over all of your social media. Everywhere. Become
our patron, support us every month, watch all our videos.
Yeah.
So you can face yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Speaking of becoming patrons, you can do so at Patreon. You'll find the link right below. And we thank you for those of you who have already become patrons, and we look forward to bringing you more. If you have questions or topics you'd like us to take on and have a look at and do a video on, let us know, and we'll see what we have to say.
Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.